Y'all, 1 second. I'm turning on the headset. I am so sorry for running late, y'all. Like, I had forgotten to set an alarm because I meant to just take a nap and then watch this live, but that didn't end up happening. So we are watching it late. I do apologize for that. But basically, I'm not going to just go through and like be, I'm actually going to probably pause it, analyze, talk about it a little bit. And honestly, I think that'll be a little more fun with this rather than live. I'm going to feel like I don't want to pause it at all. So, right, usually it's about... There we go. Should... Only 9 minutes? Oh, there we go. Right, because this live letter is actually live at the Tokyo Game Show. I forgot about that. Alright, I'm probably not gonna pay attention to this part because I don't know enough Japanese. Hopefully that changes when I move to Japan, you know? I'm actually really excited for that. But... Oh my god, does he have a Final Fantasy XIV fan now? An actual fan? Look at that little Cryo shirt! I want that Cryo shirt! Damn, look at that. It's so cute with her just flying off with, like, the paint behind her. They're cracking jokes and stuff, so that's why I'm not like, eh. Let me go ahead and kind of skip ahead, because... What else are they showing in the background? There are like other screens with other stuff. Okay, here we go. Slides. I may end up skimming through, like I said, like, this is gonna be more of an more analyzing than live, so stream may not actually be as long. Hey, Destroyer. Hope you're doing well. Okay. I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing a react to my MMO game for today. Them showing off those damn fans. I want to know what's on them because I want one. I want that shirt. That shirt right there is so cute. Come on, come on. Oh, there we go. Now they're showing it. I was like, y'all are... Yo! Yo! Okay, let's analyze this. Let's analyze this. One, they're fucking showing Prish. Is Prish actually going to be our... Oh, that's so fucking cool. Prish is our NPC. Oh god, I hit the desk so hard something fell off. I'll check that in a little while. Versus Galulja. Oh shit. Cloud of darkness at the bottom. It looks like. Or that might be actually the puff of dark. Probably not. There's Shadow Lord. And there looks to be Reen with maybe Reen and Gaia fused, because that looks like a black and a white wing. So that might be what they're doing for the ultimate form, is those two are gonna fuse. That's pretty cool. Damn though. Prish front and fucking center. That was not the NPC I was expecting, but I am here for it. So for those of you who are new to 14, they're doing a crossover for the Alliance raids with the older MMO of Final Fantasy XI. Prish is a NPC in Chains of Promathia, the second expansion for Final Fantasy XI, which, I will be honest, I think Chains of Promathia is probably the best storytelling in an MMO, period. It's an extremely beautiful story with, like, fun characters. Prish is a monk who fights with her fists, who is considered an emissary of darkness after a gem that's connected to the god of Twilight was embedded into her chest in an accident. Oh, I'm feeling so good right now. Oh, this is going to be fantastic. I love this image. I can't wait till they make the wallpaper version of it. Sorry, Adventurine, but you're getting replaced. Oh, that Prish art is so beautiful. I just want the Prish by herself. And Reen up at the top. Oh, what am I doing for Halloween? I don't know, actually. I don't really do much on Halloween outside of buy myself candy. I don't really dress up anymore. They're talking about Reen. I do like what they appear to be doing with her, but I hope they're not spoiling the final form. Oh, for stream. Okay, one second. So for stream, I'm doing a whole October event. We're gonna have Silent Hill 2 remake and Alan Wake 1. And for the Silent Hill remake, I'm gonna add special sound redeems for like the sirens, the church, the nurse noises, stuff like that from the older games that you can put in to try and scare me. That actually kicks off October 11th and will last for the entire month of October. Rest of October, so that'll be fun. It kicks off October 11th at like probably 7 to 8 at night, something like that. We'll see. It's the Friday after the Silent Hill 2 remake opens up. Unless like they've changed the release date. I'll check after this and make sure. If they did, I'll just do Alan Wake. Oh my god, I'm so hyped for this now. Now that I know that Prish is the NPC, I wonder why they're showing Cloud of Darkness though. That's very interesting. Why did you hit me again? Crossroads! Ooh. Wait. Why are they calling it Crossroads? I'm not getting to... Okay, listen. I played the older MMO, Final Fantasy XI, for years. Years. I'm allowed a little hype about two of my favorite MMOs crossing over. Alright. Mid-November. Okay, a little bit later than I thought. That's gonna be right before Thanksgiving, too. I mean, it makes sense, because it's like... a new MMO? Okay, so there's two. There's Final Fantasy XI that's been going since 2011. So it's like... or was it 2001? This MMO is so old that you could play it on PS2. And it's still ongoing, although they haven't really released any stories since they finished a new one they came up with, Voracious Resurgence. The new one I play, Final Fantasy XIV, that one came out originally in mid-2000. Excuse me. I forget when in the 2000s, but it came out originally to be an expansion for the old one, but they just decided to make a new MMO with it. Thank you. And then they ended up making it its own game. It kind of bombed because of issues within the game and the fact that it was before its time in terms of graphics. Basically, it just shut down a lot of PCs trying to play it. So then they shut the game down, remade the game, and brought it back out. And that's the one I've been playing. So it's been about 8 to 10... Sorry. Oh, God. Oh. Okay, I'm good. It's been 8 to 10 years since 14 came out. I think I started 11 in 2014. Yeah, I'm fine. I just, for some reason, choked a little. I started Final Fantasy XI in 2014. It was actually my first MMO ever. And I started 14 probably maybe 2016? Something like that? 2004? No. Pretty sure it started... Alright, let me look this up, actually. So, 1 second. Okay. I started Final Fantasy XI in 2013, back in like March. It was like I started a month before the last paid expansion came out. I think it was probably about 2 years later, so closer to 2015, 2016, that I started Final Fantasy XIV. Or might have been closer to 2014, actually, now that I think about it. So I think we had been playing for about a year, and the closed beta came out, and I played that. So yeah, I've been playing both of these a long time. I actually still have an active account on 11. I just haven't gone back to do all the new story on it. But I've done most of the stories except Voracious Resurgence, the newest non-paid expansion. 中身の方に、早速入っていきたいと思いますので、まず 11 still has an ongoing player base, and they still do monthly, like, events and such. They just haven't really done, like, a full expansion. They just dropped, like, 2 mini stories that added, like, a bunch of quality of life stuff and added endgame. So, and which is hilarious, because they have a skeleton crew of, like, 7 people who work on that game. But it's still alive because people don't, the fans who play it don't want to give it up. And I can completely understand as one of them. Okay, so we got new main story. So this guy right here is Grahatia. He's one of the Scions. Basically, the Scions are scholars and fighters who kind of made a collective to run around and save the planet from villains who could do really bad stuff called the Asians. After the last of the Asians was defeated in the last expansion, at the end of it, the Scions are technically disbanded, but they're all kind of just going around the world helping out various countries with their problems. We had a kind of dimensional traveling villain this last time, so they're kind of all roaming around the new area, the new world, basically, is what we call it. Basically, it's Final Fantasy XIV's equivalent of South and Central America, with, like, architecture and cultures to kind of match. With, like, one area that, thanks to the dimensional invaders, is actually sci-fi now. So, that's kind of random out of nowhere, but I digress. These two, this is Wuklamat and this is Kona. They are both the leaders of the New World. They both rule together. She's the Dawn Servant of Resolve. He's the Dawn Servant of Resolve and Reason. He's the Resolve. He's the Dawn Servant of Reason. Basically, before them, their dad was a two-headed Mamulja who ruled together. Basically, a two-headed Mamulja is conjoined twins. There's a whole sub-thing with that, but I don't think it's necessary to explain that for what's going on here. Oh! Galuja! Okay, so this is... So it looks like here they're consulting with both of them. He is the son of one of the 2 villains from this expansion, but he's a good kid. He's a good kid who deserves all the hugs and all the head pats. But his father was one of the villains and left him the legacy of basically an entire empire that he conquered and ruled himself. And so what it looks like with this story is we're probably trying to help the people of this sci-fi nation kind of integrate into the rest of the nation, which is something I expected it to be about. The fact that Graha and Kryl are the main characters for this is really nice, because I love Wuklamat and all, but she doesn't need to be a main character anymore. She had her arc in the first half of the expansion. You can probably hear in the background everyone going, "Aww." It's because everyone loves this kid. You can't hate the kid. He's too sweet. Oh, okay, so they're going to show a memory of him, or maybe an echo memory of some kind? They just said echo. Ooh, okay, so they're gonna bring the Pelu Pelu in. Actually, I figured out of the 3 that they introduced that the Pelu Pelu were probably going to be the battle class. So, Allied Society quests are basically side quests where you get repeatable you get daily quests, and every day you get like a little bit of experience with them. There's only usually 3 available a day, and it kind of is used to tell the story of a tribe of people or beasts or sentient beasts, basically, or creatures, and the story of their culture, usually some kind of overreaching issue. In this case, it looks like we're with probably helping the girl that helped us. Probably helping her develop her own little merchant empire or something. But usually the way they release them is they do a battle class one, then they do gathering, then they do crafting. So the Pelu Pelu are going to be are going to be battle class, which is great because that's free experience every day to level stuff. If I had to guess, the Yakoi, or the trolls, basically, are probably going to be gathering. I would guess crafting would probably be... What else did they show? They're not going to do the bird people because we already had the Vanu Vanu, and they're basically just rainbow-colored Vanu Vanu. I don't know what they did for they didn't announce the third one. They usually don't. They kind of just let you figure it out for yourself. Maybe it's gonna be the people with in living memory. I mean, yeah, I mean the Pelu Pelu aren't technically Beast Tribe. They're honestly the first people-based society quests we're having. Oh wait, that's right, they did announce it. It's the Moblins. Moblins will be crafting. Because they already... And we're probably going to be over near many Earths. Okay. I was figuring these guys are probably either going to be gathering or battle class, so... Honestly, that checks out. Okay, so yeah, they'll be working together with these guys. These guys are the birdmen and women I was talking about. We actually already have them as a beast tribe in one of the areas for the first expansion, but they're just green. They're not rainbow colored like these guys are. So I was like, I'm cool with that. Ooh. So what are we doing with Homegirl here? So this girl is the train conductor. In one of the zones, there is a train that goes back and forth to Shaloni. Between Shaloni and oh god, I forgot what it's called, but we end up just calling it Heritage Found. But she... Oh, so she's custom deliveries. That makes sense. We're probably helping them build the train back up. Because in the story, we actually had to destroy the train to break into the area with the villain. So we're... Oh. Okay, so I need to finish all the role quests. I didn't find this interesting so far. So role quests are basically job quests kind of deal, where you're of a certain role, you're helping out someone else who's either of the same role or a different role, and there's like some kind of overreaching issue or thing going on. In Shadowbringers, they used it to tell the story of characters from that world that we had actually faced and defeated at one point, and whom also gave their lives, but their bodies were possessed by creatures known as Sin Eaters, so we're trying to quell those Sin Eaters within them so their bodies can be put to rest. which was really good. And then at the end of it, the additional role quest was that we brought people from the 13th over to the first to, and then like poked into the 13th, which is a void. I should probably explain further. So in 14, there's this big lore called where the world was split into one main world and 13 reflections. Basically, 13 pieces of the world that were broken off and became their own world. And it was like subdimension. In Shadowbringers, we go to the first reflection. And there's like a whole story there. A long time ago, the 13th was turned into a void when one of the Asians, who's trying to bring that shard back to and combine it back with the main planet, essentially steeped the world in too much darkness to the point that the main piece would not accept the piece back. Basically, these Asians are trying to rejoin all the shards because they believe it'll bring back their people, because their people were our ancestors, basically. And what they have to do in order to do that is they have to create a kind of world calamity that's steeped in an element. At the same time, they have to create it within the reflection and the main shard at the same time, so they're on the same frequency, and the two pieces will come back together. It's not directly stated, but it is implied that the people of the reflection are basically absorbed into the main people of that world, so they no longer exist. But back when they were still trying to figure out their method for it, the 13th got too steeped in darkness that it could not be absorbed back into the main shard. And there were warriors of light, basically people summoned by the goddess of light or given power by the goddess of light to try and fight, who weren't able to fight it off in time. And so they end up getting convinced to join the Asians, did for a little bit, realized what the Asians were doing was wrong, but by that point they were already stuck on other shards away from their main shard. So the role quest, the Shadowbringers, is at first, like I said, those people from that first shard who died, who sacrificed their lives to try to save that shard from a calamity. And then it becomes talking about the people from the 13th that were trapped in the realms and getting them to meet back up again. We actually officially get the 13th to a point where they're able to kind of work on their own to slowly save their planet and fix it in the post-patch story last expansion. Last expansion's role quests were that there were there are people being turned into monsters, and we have to go to different countries where these people turned into monsters are terrorizing the country and kill them all. And then there's like a role quest after it. I don't know what that one's actually about, as I never got that far. This one is probably the follow-up after the whole... They were doing this kind of round table of villains that you have to go fight. It hasn't been... The one questline I've done has had some funny scenes to it, but overall has been very boring. So I'm hoping maybe these additional role quests are a little bit better. It could just be that particular one was boring, because I was just doing the physical ranged, but yeah. I mean, I knew this was coming. I'm surprised they're doing it now, though. Oh god, she's trying to control Worm. Oh no, what is Tobly doing? Oh no, this is Wachi Makey Makey. Okay. Wachi Makey Makey is role quests, but for crafters and gatherers. So this is kind of just a follow-up to that. Those are normally pretty good. They only started doing those in Shadowbringers as well. That one, you kind of get a follow-up quest where they all thank you for helping them out because they're trying to, like, build and develop stuff. Last expansion was also kind of a giant discussion from all the crafters and gatherers of this nation after they've been planning to move off planet and end up having to scrap those plans. To make a long story short, the disaster in the last expansion was that the world was potentially going to be ended by this being of emotion that essentially went batshit insane. And there was a faction trying to just move off planet in the hopes that it would save their people. And in the end, my character and aka the character anyone plays in the MMO and the Scions that I talked about earlier end up fighting this being, and she's put to rest. Okay. I'm skimming a little through. Oh no, they're starting Hildebrand already. Okay. God, sci-fi Hildebrand adventures. That's gonna be funny. So it's probably them looking for Hildebrand again, because I didn't really watch the Hildebrand from this last expansion. I'll be honest, I don't know most of Hildebrand's stories. I probably need to watch it from the beginning. Hildebrand is basically this quest line that's a parody of, like, detective shows with just a whole bunch of memes. It basically started in the 1.0 where it was used to test out the limits of facial expressions and all that, and body motions and such. It just becomes, it's very hit or miss because it's very slapstick kind of humor, which for me misses a good 60% of the time, so. Okay. Okay, cool. So, exit this shit. Alright, so New Game Plus, basically it means you can repeat the story. You can't get any rewards from it, but you can at least watch the cutscenes and whatnot. They always are one patch behind with it, so basically this last patch, or the actual, like, expansion story, main story, is now unlocked for me to replay if I want to. The job quest too. And role quests. Support for non-main scenario quest dungeons to be implemented moving forward. Fuck yes! Okay, so let me explain this. Duty support are basically NPCs that fight alongside you in dungeons. Say you want to go through the story of the game, but you're a DPS, so your queues are going to be shit. Oftentimes your queues are going to be 20 to 30 minutes, depending on the dungeon, maybe 15 to 16 for lower ones. If you're trying to just get through the story and you don't care about how long it takes you to get through a dungeon, you can basically take these NPCs in. There are some dungeons that are not main scenario quest dungeons that, trying to get a first time clear, you might as well wait until you're a higher level, unsync it, and then just do it by yourself. Just because nobody does them anymore. Mostly this is ARR hard mode dungeons, or optional dungeons, because there's so fucking many of them. I think there's like 10, 15. Okay. So they may not be doing the hard mode ones. It seems like they're doing like the ARR non-story ones. So in ARR, or A Realm Reborn, there were a couple of dungeons that there are certain levels where for about 4 levels you can't do duty support because the dungeons for those levels were optional dungeons added for the Grand Company content. Basically, a volunteer army you can join and do tasks for. So they're basically adding that, which is fantastic. That means you can actually do them. Ooh, Hall of the Novice updates. Oh, okay, cool. So with this, there's basically new battle mechanics that people wouldn't understand. They're going to add in for that now. So now people can understand what stack and spread means, basically. There's stuff right there! There's fucking spread! I called it! Oh fuck, I didn't even have to look that far ahead. Tank Buster, yeah. These symbols are pretty universal and continue all the way through higher levels. So that's why I was like, yeah, this is to explain these mechanics so people stop running from stacks and cuddling for spread. Alright, let's get a PvP update. Wow, that artwork right there is like very, very bleh. They're gonna show probably more, like, a lot of this is just gonna be straight up slides, because when they do these live letters, they do them in two parts. So the first is kind of a preview where they show you slides of it, kind of be like, yeah, this is everything that's coming out. Usually their next one, so that'll probably be in a couple more weeks. Since it's mid-November, I would usually it's about a couple weeks out from it, so I would guess this will probably be, because this live letter, if it's coming out in mid-November, this is actually a little early. So I'm pretty sure they only did it this early because it's the Tokyo Game Show they're at. Usually it's like a month and then 2 weeks out. So I don't think the next live stream is going to be for a little while. I think they're going to probably wait till mid-October to beginning of November to release that. But it'll basically have the trailer, which is kind of like their, their little hype thing. Kind of like, it's almost like a game trailer, but it's going to have a mix of cutscenes and a little bit of gameplay, but you won't see like HUDs or anything. And that'll be like, they'll show that off at the very beginning of the live stream, and then they'll, like, within 2 to 3 minutes, it'll be on YouTube ready in all languages that they have, which is what? English, Japanese, French, German, Spanish, something like that. And then they'll show like actual gameplay footage of some things, maybe like some of the mounts, some of the minions, probably show a little bit of us running through the Alliance raid, a little bit of what the arena for the Ultimate, which is the hardest raid content in the game, stuff like that. Extensive update to PvP action, execution, and hit detection. Ooh. So they're fixing some of the issues. Okay. And job action, additions and adjustments. Okay. Arena improvements for Red Clouds and Cloud 9. Balance adjustments for front lines. And, okay. Oh wait, what was the last one? PvP Series 7. New dungeon. Yue Yawata Field Station. Okay. So this is in Heritage Found. What the fuck? Oh god. Are they channeling their inner Outlast? Damn, bro. Oh, here we go. This is what I'm actually excited about. The Final Fantasy XI crossover. Whoa! This is Lower Juno. Why are we in Lower Juno? Juno is basically one of the big cities in Final Fantasy XI. So they have like their big nations. So you have the main three. You have the Republic of Bastok. You have San d'Oria, which is basically it's like, I don't know if I want to call it French culture, but yeah, could probably call it English or French. So basically, each nation's kind of based on a different thing. The Republic of Bastok is kind of based off of older US a little bit. You have a kind of council and a president, so it's based a little bit off of US government and other republic type nations, with two main races, the humans and the Galka, which are basically an all male race that reincarnates within a void. Like basically when they're about to die, they wander off and eventually make their way to the void, and then they're basically reincarnated. And one of the Galkas is reincarnated with the memories of all the Galkas and basically holds their lore, and they're called the Tailkeeper. You've got, like I said, Nation San d'Oria, which is based off of European culture with like the king's dead, so it's kind of the two princes and their factions kind of fighting over who's going to become the next king, with a church who would recognize whoever the next king is. The church kind of, they don't really explain why they haven't crowned someone, probably that neither one are of age yet or something like that, but the army follows one guy, the church follows the other. And so both are kind of vying for the kingship. Then you've got Windurst, which is basically almost like a hippie population. They're basically the mages. The population of San d'Oria are a mix of humans and mostly elves, or Elvon. Then you've got the Tartaru, the Catgirl race, which those two races make up Windurst. Windurst is kind of like a mage nation. They're like built on an oasis in the middle of a desert. And they're kind of ones with nature, experiment with magic. They are ruled by a seeress known as the... Oh god, I forgot what her official title is. But her name is Star Sybil. I think she's like called Heavenly Star Sybil or something like that. But yeah, so those are the big three nations. And then Juno is kind of this like free, kind of almost like another semi-republic style country ruled by at first two brothers and then later on another friend of theirs after the two brothers pass away. And they're kind of a nation of trade. This is kind of like one of the big trade hubs. In fact, this right here is where the auction houses are, where you would buy goods. These are some of you have shops here, you have shops along here. But yeah. Oh man, I can't believe we get to Lower Juno. Echoes of Vana'diel Part 1. Juno, the First Walk. Ooh. Okay. So this right here was something that was shown to me earlier today, so I already saw this. But this is in Castle Zaval. The story of the first part of the game for 11 is that you are an adventurer who has joined one of the three countries. It's usually based on your character's race is where you start. Or no, I think you can actually... Can't remember if you could actually pick. I think you can actually pick, now that I think about it. But basically, your nation is kind of going through their own little issue where the beast tribe of that area is acting a fool, and you got to figure out what's going on with them. And you prove yourself, and they're like, hey, go be an emissary to other countries, help them out for us. You get more jobs, we get more accolades, everybody's happy. And then you come to find out that these beast tribes acting a fool is because their ultimate leader, the Shadow Lord, who was sealed away 10 years ago, is back. And so eventually you end up fighting the Shadow Lord in his castle, which is Castle Zaval. This is an area from it. Looking at this plus the burning circle, I would guess this is probably where we're going to fight him, maybe? But how do I put it? But the whole lore of the Shadow Lord. Remember when I told you about this Galka that they reincarnate, but one of them has all the memories and they're called the Tailkeeper? Well, the Tailkeeper of the generation about 10 years prior to the story that we start in was working with the Republic and went on an expedition with two friends of his, a man named Hugo and a woman named God, I forgot her name, but he was the Tailkeeper was in love with the woman, which is kind of weird because, you know, Galkas don't really have relationships. They're a male-only race, and since they reincarnate, they don't reproduce. But he was in love with her, but so is Hugo. And Hugo, when he found out that those two were, that the girl loved the Galka back instead of him, he attacked her, and well, he tried to attack the Galka. She took the hit for him and died in the Galka's arms. This Galka, Raugrim is actually his name, basically went batshit insane and became the Shadow Lord. Basically, I guess, drew on the power of the void and whatnot in his anger and became a demon. And so that's the Shadow Lord that you fight at the end of the story. Basically, 10 years prior, after he immediately turned into the Shadow Lord, he started a war called the Crystal War. That's more relevant in a later expansion called Wings of the Goddess, where you're able to actually travel back to that time and see the war ongoing. It actually had some cool content to it, like campaign, but I digress. I originally thought we were going to get more involved with the lore of Wings of the Goddess because one of the areas in it is called the Walk of Echoes, which is why I thought Echoes of Vana'diel, we were probably going to go to the Walk of Echoes, and that was how we were going to get to the world of Final Fantasy XI. So I'm very curious, because it says Juno the First Walk, but this is clearly Castle Zaval. Minstrel's Ballad, Speen's Burden. Ooh. This is the final boss for 7.0, but an extreme mode version. Trying to see if they had another. Oh, they're doing more arena types. Okay, that's cool. Okay, Unreal Trial, they're starting with the Four Lords. Makes sense that they're doing the Four Lords now with them doing Final Fantasy XI stuff, considering this was their reimagining of the Four Lords from Final Fantasy XI. New battle content. What are they talking about with new battle content? They're showing the alliance raids, though. Well, no, they're showing different stuff, because this is... So this right here is Dunscaith. This right here is Eureka. This is another alliance raid. This is another alliance raid. Oh wait, no, these are all alliance raids. Minus this, I think this is Fates in the middle. Chaotic alliance. Oh! Oh! So that's why they've got Cloud of Darkness on there. Okay. So they're doing Savage mode of Alliance raids that have already come out. Oh, that's... Oh, that's fucking dope! Oh my god. They've got... Ooh, so that's what they're doing. Oh no. Oh my god. Let me explain what these are. So basically, she's cleaving off the arena into small areas, and you have to have people stacked in certain spots and a certain amount in all the spots. Oh man. That looks so much fun. So we knew they were talking about a Savage 24 man. I didn't realize they were talking about it being Cloud of Darkness, basically. But it can't just be Cloud of Darkness. There's got to be more to it, right? Yeah. Futures Rewritten Ultimate. Ooh. FRU. Faru. They're probably going to call it URF. Earth. Let's see cuts images from it. Okay, yeah. Daddy issues the fight. Okay, yeah. Figured she was gonna be there. Ooh! Voiced reactions and commentary from the Science will be added, so that you, when you play them in Domain Mahjong. Fantastic. Housing update. Select interior designs from different residential... Oh, okay. That's about time. Oh, and they don't... Oh, okay. They took out a lot of the pillars, too. That does look really nice. They're basically adding patterns without the pillars. Okay, this is yeah. Primals are having a stream pass. Okay. Talking about the shirt. Okay. Alright, so let me pull up my Discord. Because a lot of times they will actually post translations, and we're going to talk about those. So let me go into game content. Live letter. Alright, cool. Let me go from the beginning. All right, cool. So we're gonna go ahead and zoom this in. This is the balance Discord. It's basically where they post like job guides and stuff, but they also translate the live letters. They have this guy who translates, or girl. All right, so Marble MC. Okay, timekeeping more strictly than usual. Today, there will be some of the feedback reviewed. The PL will not have everything. There will be some stuff in part 2. No client gameplay due to TGS stage / part 1. PowerPoint only. No trailer yet. They're still making it. He's currently doing checks on it. Yeah. Some talk about the art. Okay. Japanese subtitle is Unknown Encounters, but English is calling it Crossroads. Middle of November, which is either November 13th or November 20th. I'm going to guess November 20th because I think they're going to want to add as much time as possible. These are screenshots we saw. 7.1 is about the finale and epilogue of Dawn Trail. Also, how they're going to link it to 8.0. 7.0 is about them starting this new arc. Oh, okay. So, in other words, normally, Endwalker was a rare exception, but normally they spend 7.1 till about 7.3 wrapping up the story, any loose ends from the story of the 0.0 expansion. So to understand that, you probably need to understand the patch content in 14. So 0.0 means that's the release of the expansion. So in this case, 7.0 was the Dawn Trail expansion. 0.1 is basically the post-patch story. So you have 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5, pretty much. The weird thing to this is 0.5 and 0.55 usually both have story, and they separate the story in half. Usually for the rest of the patches, so 1.5, so 0.15, 0.25, 0.35, 0.45 are all like the other half of content, like optional content usually. 0.5 and 0.55 are the only exceptions where both have story. But usually the way they do it is they have one, they kind of set this up with Endwalker and whatnot, is every 4 months is a patch. And then what they do is they come out with the patch. So they'll have 0.1 in mid-November. So about mid-February, mid-March next year, they're going to come out with the not 4 months later. 2 months after that, they'll come out with the point X5. So for instance, 0.15 will come out. And so half of the stuff will come out. So this will come out in mid-November. This will probably be 0.15. So 2 months from November, they'll release this. Maybe. They might actually release this on... No, they'll probably release it 2 weeks after, because I think they're releasing the Ultimate during it. So this will probably be 0.15. So this will be released in January. This will be released in January. This will probably be released in January. They spent some budget on this quest. Oh, God. But yeah, there's some screenshots, some of what Yoshida says, that kind of deal. I usually check this because they have more information. I meant to check it along the thing, but I figured I'd talk a little bit about it first and go into this. But yeah, so they're basically saying 0.1 is going to be the finale and epilogue of the Dawn Trail story, and then they're going to start linking it to different story. So what they're probably going to be doing is we got a artifact that could help people travel to different shards at the end of the last patch. So they're probably going to start that story and into like a shard potentially in 8.0. These guys gonna be used to help level up, give about the same experience as older tribes, so basically a fate's worth of experience, or a decent amount. These custom deliveries are for crafting. It's to help kind of get crafters caught up with leveling and or until like their actual beast tribe enters. Like I said, these are the post roll quests, basically to kind of add on to things. Watch you makey. I didn't really pay attention to that storyline, to be honest. I probably should go back and do them. This time he'll show up just a little different. Oh, he's gonna be in a coat. There's no way you can tell from the justice, but anything besides this is spoilers. Why is she being so shocked? Who knows whose hand this is? Oh god, that's her with the bomb in her hand. Oh lordy, that's gonna go off. Some dungeons like the optional Heavensward / Stormblood dungeons were not supported. They've updated some dungeons so that duty support can do them. They'll be implementing it slowly from the lower levels. Updates to Hall of Novice. Some feedback about lack of information like skill rotations. They're discussing whether they can implement it. It will be costly, so they're unsure. Battle mechanics means stuff like stacks and shit according to how they're hinting it. Yeah. That was what I was talking about with like stack and spread, because until you enter a dungeon, you don't actually know this mechanic exists. They figure by showing it and Hall of the Novice, they can explain it, and maybe people will stop running from stacks and shit. Okay, they're unlocking that at level 49, so they're probably... Okay. There's other stuff like facing enemy markers and towers. It's so hard to explain what these are without using the names we came up with, like towers. There's a final graduation quest too. They will add new quests after this mechanics tutorial too, and they'll probably give a new ring or something for higher levels, which will be nice. There's a lot of people worried about PvE balance, but currently we have no ideas about nerfing any jobs currently. They've refactored how skills affect players. For example, Machinus LB used to be when you press it, you cannot react after the machine's press the button. Also, Primal Rend for Warrior, it used to stun before the warrior flew at you, now it will affect you after. They've made it so the damage animation happens before the damage / effect is considered dealt. Okay. No new PvE. Okay. Black Mage has lost something, so it's like a completely different job in PvP now. Yada. Okay. Okay, they're just adjusting numbers and LB timers for PvP. Okay. It's like Resident something, huh? Oh god, they are trying to reference Resident Evil and Outlast with this dungeon. Oh no. Maybe you guys will be like, why are you putting these mechanics in the dungeons? Please challenge them with a feeling of, I guess we gotta do this. Yoshida's adding more difficulty to the dungeons, probably to get people... I think what he's trying to do in general is they're trying to actually up the difficulty of casual content, which I'm cool with, because you have a lot of people who go into casual content and they're like, well, I kind of want to do the raids now. I think I can do Savage Raiding. And they get in and they don't know a damn thing about their jobs. And they wonder why they get kicked from parties. These will kind of force them closer to that. Oh, damn. Oh, for those of you who know this place, right? What will the BGM mean? My Final Fantasy XI character is AFK in town looking at the texture to copy it for Final Fantasy XIV. The textures in Final Fantasy XI are incredible. How did they make this work on the hardware at the time? I'm amazed. That's like, yeah, so you gotta understand, this is how the game looked on a PS2. Like, you had PS2 and Xbox 360 support for this. Well, okay, it didn't quite look this way. Like, the textures weren't as sharp and whatnot. Those who play the level will know exactly what this is. This is going to be a pretty exciting raid. We're going up against them with an alliance, and they may come at us with an alliance too. Ooh. Some people are in the audience comments are like, already? AA? No, they're not going to have archangels. Oh, they specifically set up the mobs to be named in English for the Japanese version. Ooh, okay. Oh, this explains so much. So, M is basically Foxclawn, the guy with the white hair that was in that. He is a healer main. This explains so much. Yoshida's a black mage main, and he's a healer main. No wonder Foxclawn's so unhinged. Oh, God. Not sure. Will you be singing in the second half? Not sure. It is up to Soken. I don't really like to hear myself singing. Why didn't they add more effects on the track I sung, actually? Oh. Okay. Oh no, Mr. Ozma made this! So for reference, Mr. Ozma, he makes a lot of the most difficult fights in the game. He enjoys making things as difficult as humanly possible. The last time he made an Alliance Raid based fight, I think was Ozma. Funny, that's why he's called Mr. Ozma. Is he made the Ozma fight in Void Ark, which at the very beginning wiped so many parties because there's you have to move around these. You have these little spread markers where you're attacked by a little ad. And if two ads drop on top of each other, it wipes an entire party, basically everyone close enough to it. Depending on where you aim it, you can wipe out two parties. It has caused Alliance Raid wipes before. Okay, so with this, basically they're taking a fight from an Alliance Raid, the very first one actually, the final boss of the entire Alliance Raid set. Okay, so there will be no mobs in the way. You will start the boss. How many people played this since 2.4? IRL audience of chatter going nuts. Didn't Cloud Darkness delete the floor? There's counters on each tower too. What could I mean? Well, we have 24 members, so there's special rewards. Not just on first clear, but there's also stuff to encourage multiple runs / helping out. Details in part 2. Ooh. I've seen it running on Mr. Ozma's monitor. It seems like a pain in the ass. 24 people, so the field is just chaos. They've considered carefully what rewards they will give for this content. They hope players will stick around with it for a long time. So it sounds like probably like amount, glamour, maybe possibly savage upgrades, but I don't see it happening. Please take care of your health when challenging this ultimate. Oh god. By the way, the Blaze spell was designed by Mr. That fucking checks out. That checks out. Like I said, Mr. Ozma makes extremely difficult fights. He's only designed one ultimate before. And that's I think he designed DSR. It was either DSR or Alexander, but his fights are very, very difficult. He gives no fucks. Okay. They've prepared new internal design, so that's with the pillars. This is without the pillars. Although why they went with white walls is weird, but yeah. It'll be free for all interior designs. Maybe we can make south houses a little bit, but this will not come in 7.1. Please wait a bit longer. Okay, so this is probably gonna be like 7.2, 7.3. But it sounds like you could swap an S interior with a large interior, but not confirmed. I doubt it. And this is all the merch. Okay. Yeah, no. Like, this is gonna be kind of... I do kind of want to do this. The fact that they're adding, like... this is kind of cool. I'm curious to see what the item level requirement's going to be to get in. I would suspect, since they're saying it's supposed to be closer to extreme difficulty than savage, that, you know, shouldn't be too bad. Excuse me. All right. I'm actually really hyped about this. I'm going to expect this to be 0.15. I don't think it's going to come out right away. So the site should be open now. So let's see. Okay, they've got all this announcement. Okay, so they haven't actually started up the page. They'll probably wait until the next update. But usually they have a special page for the patch where they showed the screenshots and show, hey, what's going to come out in 0.1, what's going to come out in 0.15. I currently think the Alliance Raid, the story, and the Ultimate will come out at 0.1. Everything else is probably going to be 0.15. And, well, in the PvP updates. And this Hall of the Novice stuff. And the Duty Sport. Hildebrand, the Watchy Makey Makey, the Beast Tribe stuff, and the role quests are all going to come out in 0.15, so in January. And the reason they do this is they try to space out the content so that you still have content going on throughout the month. But, yeah. So, I think we're potentially we're going to see the Cosmic Restoration, basically restoring an area on the moon or something. Either next patch, so 0.2 in 4 months, so in March, or in 0.3. But, yeah. I mean, it's not a lot of stuff. I think custom deliveries will probably come out right at the 0.1 instead of the 0.15. That'll probably come out right away. It'd be really nice if this came out in 0.1, but I think it's going to be 0.15. But yeah. Okay, so we've got a little bit of stuff to be excited about. It's not a lot of content, but to be fair, like, I'm probably going to be doing the Savage, or the Chaotic 24-man, I think, at some point. Definitely going to do the Alliance raids. I will very likely, once I know the exact date, that particular day that the patch comes out, when I come home, I'll probably do the story first. Or, depending, because last expansion, it unlocked midway through the story of that patch. So they're probably going to do the same thing here. I would hope, but fuck. Part of me wants to bum rush the story so I can do the patch content. But I think, like, story-wise, we'll probably do as much of the story as we can if we don't end up directly finishing it that day, and then we'll do the Alliance raids the next day. So probably that particular week when it comes out in November, I'll have a few more Final Fantasy XIV streams again, and then I'll tone those back down for a different game after I've gotten through that content. But yeah. So thank you guys for coming in. Okay, about an hour and a half. I'm gonna probably get onto Witcher 3 and do the side content stuff while I'm cleaning and doing laundry and whatnot for today. And then tomorrow, when I get home from work, probably around 6, I will stream more of it. I should be back on the Toad, because I think today I'm probably just going to focus down on it all morning until I've gotten all the question marks explored and gotten all the school gear and hopefully crafted. I think I am going to swap to the bear build instead of the cat build. So I'll have to go find all those in Skellig. But I'm going to be going from zone to zone, just filling out the question marks, seeing what I can find gear-wise. Probably going to focus the gear first, because I would like a good set. Get some of the good fire bombs made for the freaking Toad, and then hopefully with you know, gear up to where I'm at level-wise, I should be better off, especially with better mutagens. I might actually look up a build for that. All right, with that being said, thank you guys for coming in. I greatly appreciate y'all, and I will see y'all tomorrow. Until then, I hope you guys have a great and wonderful rest of your day, and I will see y'all next time.